I guess we're already rolling then. Cool Cat.
Are we rolling?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about, Cool
He's
Cat
Cool
stuff.
Cat.
Former Playgirl model Derek Savage.
You think so?
That's what I mean.
Seriously?
If you can, that's what the trivia in
What?
IMDb says. I mean, I didn't.
What
make
other
it up.
videos has he made then?
Yeah, right. I don't think this was like intentional, like ironic seeking cult stuff.
Nope.
Seems like he's just trying to make his version of Barney or whatever. Mm-hmm. Maybe stumbled into a little bit of ironic appreciation.
You don't think that there was any self-awareness of what was going on here?
I think that if I'm going to guess, and I'm not the scholar that Adam is.
I'm not a scholar
on this.
I just know how these episodes are.
You've done
played
a
out.
little bit of research. I've done zero. So I'm gonna guess that he's like saw what happened with people like rating it 10 out of 10 and stuff, and he's like leaning into it and he's trying to squeeze it and get that.
He's doing with Cool Cat what we all said Neil Breen should be doing with his own movies.
Correct. Right.
Making money off of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because if Neil Breen was selling, like autographed posters,
right,
people would be buying the shit out of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it's it's kind of like what Tommy Wiseau has done with The Room. Like, I don't think he intended that movie to be bad, but like now that it has the audience that it does, he's happy to go around and do screenings of it and talk about it and all that stuff and be like, yeah, well, this is what I got. I'm going to use it. But yeah, I definitely think that's kind of what's going on with this as well. I definitely for a while, because I didn't know anything about this, right? So I was like trying to figure out, is this some kind of thing where it's like suddenly it's going to get bloody, right? Is this some kind of like subversive thing? And then I'm like, oh no, It's actually just a kid's.
Yeah, no, it really borderlined with the like Adult Swim.
Yeah,
or everything
totally.
is terrible.
Yeah,
type
yeah.
Thing.
Like
Wonder Chosen.
Yeah, totally. Or like
or like
too
a
many
Robert
cooks.
Smigel thing.
Yeah, too many cooks. That kind of whole vibe for sure. I was getting one of those at the beginning. And I'm like, oh no, it's just a kids movie. I definitely feel like he has to be neighbors with Vivica A. Fox and Eric Estrada and Cynthia
And
Rothrock.
Vivia knows Eric and
right. Oh, does she? Is
I
that
don't
just
know.
a
I'm
thing?
just saying.
Yeah, probably. No. I assume everybody in Hollywood knows everybody.
Sure.
Totally. But especially in Burbank. Like everybody in like, this little subdivision in whatever Palmdale or wherever they are. They're just like seriously neighbors.
Cool Cat County.
Cool Cat County is exactly where they are.
What we watched, and this is what I was getting at before.
Yeah.
This is what I know. And when you look at all the stuff that he's done in the Cool Cat universe that has been released, they are not individual 90-minute pieces. This is a compilation of those things that you just looked up.
Got it.
So this is all stitched together as one thing.
Like
One of them was The Parade. I saw that.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Where was The Wicked Witch?
Yeah, I didn't see The Wicked Witch.
No, this does not have everything
Got
that
it.
he's done on
So there's
it.
there's
You would
eventually
have to
going to be a
find-
volume 2.
I don't know. It would be called something different. I mean, I haven't looked. This is the one that I wanted to get because it's the one that I was more familiar with seeing the trailer for.
Oh, sure.
That's the first time when we watched to the end and they showed the merchandise stuff that I saw versus the witches.
Yeah, Cool Cat versus the Wicked Witch.
Wicked
Witch. Or Wicked Witches. I don't
I think it was
remember,
just
but-
Wicked Witch.
So if it's their Halloween special or something, I don't know.
God, is that coming this year?
Because the thing is
don't
on the
know.
website, this is the only thing you can buy.
Right.
Like, it's in terms of the movie. So, Cool Cat versus the Wicked Witch is simply not an option to purchase, because if it was, we'd already have sent that PayPal. I mean, that should have already been done.
Right.
So what I love about this is it's one big package of this thing that Derek Savage created, and I think it's a wonderful, interesting creation.
Yeah. I mean,
It's not like you said. It doesn't go. His heart is in the right place.
totally.
And it doesn't get creepy. Maybe some of the lessons aren't really fleshed out. I would imagine it's not something that he aligned with social workers or anybody else to say, hey, what type of messages should I put in here, and how should I approach this in a way that would benefit a child trying to figure out what to do in these situations.
Yeah. I mean, when he's like, I just got a text message, Cool Cat. I don't recognize the number. Well, you shouldn't listen. You shouldn't read text messages if you don't understand the number. But I'm here, so it's okay. What message are you sending to the child? That like you should only read text messages from randos, like if you're with Cool Cat?
Right. You should only open that email attachment if your parents are there.
Right. Is this a picture of Cynthia Rothrock?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
I addressing that now.
Which I almost thought was Pia Sonora the first time I saw it.
Sort of. They kind of have the same kind of hair.
So we have to talk about the fact that Cynthia Rothrock is credited in the beginning of the movie. And we're like, what? Cynthia Rothrock is in this movie?
Right.
And we look through the entire film, like the whole thing, and we're like, where is Cynthia Rothrock? She's not in it. I look on IMDb.
Eric Estrada comes and goes.
Right.
Vivica Fox comes and goes.
IMDb,
no
Cynthia Rothrock not listed in the movie. Not at all. No IMDb, nothing on there, which leads me to believe that she requested her name to be removed from this film, which is just incredibly rich.
Especially because if you look at her catalog of films, there's so many others to remove.
This is the thing you want taken off. And so the whole movie goes, no Cynthia Rothrock. And then we were hoping and praying that Cool Cat's mom, Mrs. Cat, was Cynthia Rothrock, and sure enough, that was indeed the case. Yeah. Cynthia Rothrock, now she must have played the voice. She was the voice of Mrs. Cat, because in IMDb there are actors listed for, and there's actually 2 women listed as the mascot, Mrs. Cat. Okay. So she just did the voice of Mrs. Cat, but
which was very ADR.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really the biggest ADR points.
Yeah, absolutely.
Consistently throughout the whole thing.
I will say this, a couple of points. She did a really good job. Like, I think that for what that is, for that role of just like, I am, mother cat voice, I was like, Cynthia Rothrock, pretty good voice actor.
And you better get ready, Cool Cat. It's almost time for the Hollywood parade.
Number 2, why is her picture on this? Because she was in the cat costume. So her picture shouldn't be on the cover,
Well, and for Derek Savage's backyard workout with the bamboo sticks and what did they call them? Katanas, when they actually were not katanas?
Yeah, they were not katanas at all.
What a huge waste of maybe taking Cynthia into that environment as like his trainer or something.
Right, yes.
In the cat suit, which would have been even
No,
more
not in the
impressive.
cats. I mean, just give her an opportunity to be like the real person.
Oh, look, Daddy Derek is sparring with world-famous Cynthia Rothrock.
Exactly.
Cynthia Rothrock beating up a tree.
No,
China
coaching
O'Brien herself.
I'm sorry?
Nothing.
Yeah, so do you,
Even more than
do you think that he wanted to use this as a vehicle to show off his sick katana skills?
I don't know.
And also his sick Van Halen autographed guitar?
Definitely the guitar.
Right.
Definitely the guitar. Because I called that out when they came into the room. I'm like, oh, that's an Eddie Van Halen guitar.
Yeah, you did.
That's the Frankenstein, or like a commercial version of it.
Yeah.
And then I saw him play it, and I saw the
play it.
I saw the gold signature pens on it. I'm like, oh, it's autographed there. That's why. And then he actually makes it a point to show it to
Of course.
Hey, check it out. It's autographed by the Van Halen band, and it was autographed back in the 1980s. Wow, that is so awesome. Woohoo!
Which is his dad. He should know already about the autographed guitar. But I mean, it's a kid's show, so whatever.
Well, that's why I say Cool Cat, he has special needs. He has to be reminded of things.
He also talks to the audience. It's not there.
The songs were terrible. Mm-hmm. Songs were really bad. But what I loved was the fact that there were multiple versions of the same Cool Cat theme that were played throughout the film.
Yeah, so it wasn't like an "I love you, you
Right.
Sure.
love me."
Yeah.
Right, it wasn't beat over the head.
Yeah, that just
Everything is awesome.
was
type
very
thing.
triggering for me hearing freaking Barney song.
Because Cool Cat is cooler than
I-
Barney the dinosaur.
Right.
I said that after we watched it.
It says
I would
Ben
much rather
Daka, producer.
Boy, this thing's like an onion. Just more things. Just
I'm
seem to
gonna do
reveal
all
itself
of my
and
when I make a
peel it away.
movie. When I make a movie with you guys, I'm gonna do all of the box quotes on my own release.
Oh, significantly better than Screwballs. So, and it was like, it was like, you know, it was like Cool Cat likes da 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 da, Cool Cat da 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 da, right? I don't remember what the lyrics were, but then like in another part, it was like Cool Cat da 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 da, da. It was all quiet,
Different tempos
right?
for the occasion. And then there's a rap that happens. There's like a couple of different rap songs.
There's like multiple. There's
the
3
first
different
one-
rap songs in this
Yeah,
film.
the first one, it feels like it's the actor just recording his voice ADR.
Yeah.
The second one actually sounds like semi-professionally
Right,
recorded
yeah,
by
totally.
an entirely different voice
Right.
actor, singer.
And the third one is
Like-
done by Derek Savage himself.
Right.
And it's truly the worst of all of them. And I like how he's, you know, he's like the rap master. And he like doesn't even rhyme.
No, there's not a rhyming couplet in that entire song.
This actually pairs well with the end credit song of Suburban Sasquatch, where it was like that what must have
grandma.
been the grandma of the guy who's doing the song completely out of beat with the music behind it, and
Yeah,
that rap was the
syncopation
exact
was
same way.
completely
It was
off.
like, this isn't even close to in rhythm. Like, it's not even close, and the rhymes were bad, and it was out of rhythm. So now, with all that said, I thought Cool Cat was awesome. I really like Cool Cat. You know, I thought Cool Cat himself and the actor who does him and the little movements he had and everything were genuinely entertaining.
Every time he went down those stairs, I was just waiting for him to face plant.
Right.
I was so nervous every time.
Oh yeah, like I expect him to at least one time like
Trip
fake
or just
Dick Van Dyke it. You know,
Sure.
like even if he didn't actually stumble, like fake
like,
stumble.
oh, whoops, I got big feet. Whoa.
Yeah, exactly. Do something silly with it, but no, he just does his little dance at the top of the stairs, like I'm about to go down the stairs.
How many-
Woo!
A lot of times going down, up and down the stairs. A lot of lunches, breakfasts, dinners, snacks going on.
Right.
I don't even know if I learned much about bullying.
No, like the moral was like, what, like chase the bully? Like it was like, because that was it. It was like chase the bully, and then also you had
Well,
like,
stand up for yourself.
sure.
Stand up for yourself.
Right. Stand up for yourself.
Unless
which
he's got a gun.
That really didn't work for me in junior high when I tried that a few
Right.
times.
It doesn't
I actually
work.
got beat more.
And really, like, you know, very rarely is the message like always go tell a parent, you know, things like that.
that makes it worse too.
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
make it
yeah.
worse.
Oh,
too.
yeah, yeah.
That's why I'm saying I don't think he consulted with anybody on this.
Sure.
It's
sure.
maybe just like the perspective of where he was at, 52 years old.
Well, that part feels very Breen-esque. It feels very much
It's
like
a simple way of
right.
looking at it.
I'm an island. I'm going to just, I'm sharing my truth with the world. I'm not really going to consult anybody about this. The difference is this one happens to be a kid's, thing. And it doesn't have, unlike Neil Breen, it doesn't have higher aspirations, right? It's not trying to be, and that's the reason Neil Breen films are incredible, right? It's because they are trying to be something that's going to change the world. This is just, hey, there's this little way for me to make money. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It doesn't even feel like a genuine, I want to help children. It feels like this is just my little racket, kind of,
a little cash grab.
A lot of people do kids books for that reason, and that is kind of how it feels. But it also doesn't feel cynical. I think Cool Cat is genuinely a fun creation. The parade parts, I really think those kids liked him. I think you could see the kids in the audience that were real LA Hollywood audiences, the kids were like, yeah, cool cat, they seemed genuinely interested. I could see cool cat being a thing that kids were really into, because kids, they're into whatever, they're not very picky.
Well, it needs to be packaged like a G.I. Joe sort of thing, like when we were young, where you have the beat yourself over the head moment of morality tacked on as a PSA, which they love their PSAs.
Yeah.
At the end of everything, but have a little bit more strong of a story and characters. I mean, shout out to the kid who played the bully in the most direct way of possibly playing a bully.
He was chewing the scenery every single time.
Which I'm sure he was
being
directed that way, but I mean, he still was very...
He was having fun.
He was having so much fun.
I really thought Derek Savage was very funny, though. I really liked him just playing this, aw shucks. And also, if this is supposed to be a real thing, are we going to talk about the fact that it's a human man married to a cat woman with a cat son?
No, seems reasonable.
It's just nope, not a big deal. This is, get progressive, people. This is the modern family. Deal with it. But it's never brought up as any kind of a weird thing at all. And why isn't, Cool Cat like a half human, half cat monstrosity?
You'd think that would be something that the bully could easily focus in on.
Yeah,
but the fact that your mom's a cat and your dad's
your
not.
breath smells like cat food.
Right.
To a cat.
Right.
Obviously.
And he doesn't even eat cat food. He eats eggs and toast. So his breath doesn't smell like
maybe
cat
that's
food.
the insult. Maybe they're humanoid. They're
Butch,
trying to be
son
human.
of a bitch.
Your mother uses a cat box.
Right. Yeah, exactly. This house was the most generic looking.
I wanted
house
them
in
to
the
have a
world.
cat.
Oh shit.
That was the layer that I actually kept hoping would happen. Would be they had a real cat.
Oh my god.
As a pet. Because but they never go there.
Yeah,
they never go that far down the well.
That'd raise more questions.
Maybe in The Witches.
Oh yeah.
If The Witches isn't
Wicked
written
Witch.
yet, they should turn Cool Cat into a real cat. The Witches should do that for a scene.
That'd be incredible.
Don't explain it.
Yeah.
Turn him back. But that's what I want to see.
Or they
if
should.
That movie doesn't exist yet.
The Wicked Witch should turn Cool Cat's mom, Mrs. Cat, into an actual cat, and then Derek Savage has to wrestle with the fact that he has sexual feelings for an actual cat.
Mrs. Cat should turn into Cynthia Rothrock. And Derek should be like, ugh. and then she gets turned back into the Mrs. Cat that she loves so much.
And he's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Wow. You're going to the Marvel Knights version of Cool Cat.
Right.
I love
the dark universe.
The Garth Ennis.
So our our silent partner in the View and Spew review is your wife Anne, who watches a lot of these films with us and does not record. And I just about died when we're watching this, and she exclaims, "Are these people furries?"
Life in a big city can be stressful, which is why some people dress up as large furry animals and go out in public. This is the furry movement, and it's sweeping northern Mexico.
It's got a very furry vibe. And I think wasn't that before we saw even Mrs. Cat?
Yeah.
No, I think
that was
right at the reveal.
As she revealed. It is very much looks like a furry costume too, by the way. It is straight up.
Actually, furry costumes are much higher quality.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It's a good point.
You don't see the seams at the cuffs and
the ankles
and,
for sure. And I like how it's just this totally generic house that Cool Cat's bedroom
was
is
a staging house
it
almost.
It looks like it's a model home.
It's their house, and they just have cleverly moved furniture. There's certain there's walls that have nothing on it at all.
Yeah.
And then there's other walls that have plenty of pictures hung up on it. So, I mean, they have to have just moved whatever's usually there because they didn't want it in the shot.
But there's no way that they just re-hung up generic ass pictures. My guess is that the bedroom that's being used as Cool Cat's bedroom is a guest bedroom.
Sure.
That they just have random pictures on. and then their version.
Oh yeah, they had like what the home store, just generic,
right? Just generic stuff, and then their
Generic
way of
paintings.
set decorating, was just slapping the Cool Cat posters haphazardly on top of other pictures, like not even fully covering.
Sometimes off the frame of those pictures.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was like, and I'm supposed to believe this is a teenage or child boy's bedroom, that's just this obviously generic, terrible looking thing. There's also like weird, there's like a bunch of like kind of like religious propaganda throughout the film, like that's like obviously something they couldn't move, like what was it, live like heaven is on earth.
And I was wondering if it was going to go in that direction.
Oh, like
right,
stenciled on the fireplace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then
with the no soliciting sign on the fireplace. Still trying to wrap my head around that one. Because
fuck you,
really,
Santa. Get out of here.
If you have someone that comes to the front door and knocks on the door, rings the doorbell, and you invite them in, and they start talking about, I don't know, air conditioning units or something, and you go, didn't you see the sign on my fireplace? It says no soliciting.
Read the fireplace.
You would have to, because the juxtaposition of where the front door was, we've saw so many times like how this house was structured. You would have to walk completely almost to the other side of the house in order to see that fireplace.
Maybe it's
it says no soliciting.
Harry Potter thing. Just saying. Because they use
like in the first one with all the letters and everything came through the
fireplace shape. Because they use fireplaces as
that's
transportation.
Right.
Flue powder. It's a pretty common thing. Just saying, that's the only thing. What you explain it? Somebody comes through your fireplace.
The only person coming through the fireplace is Santa.
Right, exactly. And it's like, don't solicit me, Santa.
And it is Christmas time.
Good point.
Maybe it is up there for Santa.
Maybe that's a joke. They find that hilarious.
Maybe.
I don't know. It looked like
I would
it was
say
like
no trespassing.
Yeah, no soliciting.
Right. What does that even mean?
Santa doesn't solicit you.
Maybe it doesn't solicit you.
No.
Speak for yourself.
I am.
There's Christmas stuff going on in this background of this movie. It's never actually addressed.
Well, because everything in his yard is dead, so it has to be during wintertime.
I think it's because the parade is Christmas.
That too.
And so they have to match everything to that.
Right. But they did have a Christmas tree in the house.
Right.
In the corner at one point. But that, now that we know that this is a collection of shorts spliced together into a movie, that could have something to do with it too. Maybe the no solicitation thing is answered in a short that we've yet to watch.
Could be.
What if the whole movie was exactly the same, but just at the end there was a wicked witch?
Anything's possible.
It had Eric Roberts at the end tacked on.
Yeah, why was he there?
It's another thing. I looked on IMDb and it had Eric Roberts, and I was like, well, Eric Roberts? What? And then, sure enough, just at the end.
Sorry, go ahead.
My personal theory is that Cynthia Rothrock, Eric Estrada, Vivica Fox, Eric Roberts, all somehow owe Derek Savage a life debt.
He has shit on them.
Or they
He's got blackmail shit on them.
They murdered somebody.
Right.
And Derek Savage seen it.
Oh, they Natalie Wood it.
They did.
I want to see that movie.
Maybe that's where the witches come into play. I have no idea. But that's the only way I can figure any of them would be in this movie. Even Eric Estrada, who will be in anything.
So, I have to address this. If you're going to make a kids show, and for example, the pinnacle of that would be Sesame Street.
Okay.
As far as a kids show goes.
Sure.
That involves celebrities and things like that.
Yeah.
Sesame Street is probably one of the more progressive kids shows that are out there, even to this day, throughout the 40 years or 50 years that it's been around. Vivica A. Fox, Eric Estrada, Eric Roberts, Cynthia Rothrock, connecting with the kids of today. At the very most, maybe Vivica A. Fox when she was in Independence Day. Was maybe the last thing that she's like notable for.
I mean, the kids might know.
As far as kids go.
I don't know. I mean, I hate to say that because, I mean, I need to look up Vivica Fox real quick.
I mean, she definitely did Kill Bill after Independence Day, but that's not really kids.
This is kids.
Yeah, totally.
You know? Where's your what's his name? I don't know, Ed Sheeran or something, or
God. First of
Cool
all,
Cat and Ed Sheeran.
Then you got something.
197 acting credits. Vivica Fox.
Wow.
No,
Yeah.
But I'm saying like connecting with the kids. I mean, she's been doing like more of those like girls' night type stuff.
The kids aren't the ones who are buying these DVDs. It's the parents, and a parent is going to be super into Cynthia Rothrock and Eric Estrada and Vivica A. Fox. And
obviously.
Eric Roberts, like obviously. So they're the target audience. They're the ones that are going to coolcatlovesyou.com and ordering the, everything, right? So they're the ones you got to appeal to.
The first credited Cool Cat video is Cool Cat and the Hollywood Parade, a 2012 production. And Cool Cat Stops Bullying was the same year.
Got it.
So a bunch of other stuff was used together to make this Cool Cat.
This is basically
superhero, which is
this is like basically the Avengers
it's
of the
Cool Cat's
Cat. We've been
greatest
building
hits.
to this.
Yeah.
We've been building to this. This is the end of Cool Cat Phase 1.
But give it kudos for the fact that it's almost seamlessly done.
Totally.
It's not like you felt like this was the end of episode 1 into episode 2 into episode 3. I know that some of the quality between the parade and maybe, we notice that maybe, different cameras or even the kids kind of look, different ages every now and again. But it flowed as one complete piece. So
I've got a earth-shattering revelation for you guys. So in the book, Mr. Cat is a
cat.
Is a cat.
Oh.
Is that Derek or is that the real father?
And
Derek
the
Savage
real father
is the.
So I'm gonna speed read this, but I think that maybe what they're saying is that Derek has come in and has broken the home and has somehow rubbed out his actual father, and now Cool Cat is calling him Daddy and is a human.
Daddy Derek.
Daddy Derek. That's what I'm assuming. Yep. Here's another one. He's just in the back. Yeah. So he's at his house. Like, this is clearly his father. Right here. We found it out. Cool Cat's parents are sitting on the front porch. Yeah. It apparently is clear what's happened here.
Well, okay. So then
it's really,
it's
not
kind of, I mean, I know like within the universe or whatever, but now I'm thinking of Derek himself who wanted to be involved with this and maybe initially was going to wear the full, like Mr. Cat outfit.
Right.
And be the dad. Then his ego got in the way.
And he's like, I
have to just be myself.
Totally.
And so that goes against what we were saying of breaking those barriers of, cat and human relationships is just kind of glossed over.
So he just cast himself as a cat and didn't make any intention of making himself look like a cat.
Right.
But then they refer to him as Derek Savage in the film.
Yes, they did. They did say his last name.
Not Derek Cat.
Correct.
Which leads me to believe
now he's like a stepdad.
He's his stepfather. Yeah, exactly. That he's playing his stepfather, and that cat lady is doing it with a human man, and he's doing it with the cat lady.
Who are you to judge?
I'm not.
No. As sequence events
judging.
would go, that's what happens.
I'm not judging.
When you get in a relationship.
But I'm curious about the situation. Does actual paternal cat dad have visitation? Does he get to Cool Cats? I want to see that movie.
I think that would be an excellent sequel or short,
right?
Because then you can actually
address
divorce that would matter.
Families with multiple dads or multiple moms.
I also think that seriously, Derek Savage should have this should have been he's a stepfather, because like you said, that's a way to address those things, and also to.
I got it.
Do it.
I got it.
Okay.
Derek Savage was Mr. Cat. The witches turned him into human. And so the plot of the witches is him trying to get back into his cat form.
That's it. And I'm sure that's because that's the missing one. That's the missing link. We haven't seen that one yet, but that's what's going to happen.
It's going to start with Cool Cat questioning, because he's getting a little older.
Right.
Why don't I look anything at all like my dad? And I get all the genes from my mom. And we'll find out that's not the case. You look a lot like your dad, but your dad doesn't look like your dad.
And the witches got in through the chimney.
So the missing link here is the witch.
What this
is
witch Butch's, the bully's parents.
Oh shit, you're right. You're right. And that means that the person that he was talking to on the phone is like, oh, my son wouldn't take a gun, was actually a witch.
New segment. Instead of Adam rewrites it, Sean writes the sequel.
Go ahead.
Cool Cat, kid superhero. 1 hour, 15 minutes. I know it was obviously a bunch of things edited together, but
it seemed
as you brought up,
longer than that.
Was a
and I enjoyed myself.
Right?
But it seemed longer than that.
It did feel longer than that, didn't it? But it was edited together pretty well, and so I will address it as a film. And as a film, thank you for not being longer than 1 hour and 15 minutes. We're always admonishing needlessly long things, and I don't think this was needlessly long, and I don't think there was a lot of wasted time. Yes, there was some bad music, and some muddled morality, and some very weird human on cat relationship thing, but it seemed consensual, and it is 2019. So
how about some captions? I'd like to see some captions on here. If you're going to be the inclusive type, throw some captions on here, because you know what? Your audio quality is garbage in a lot of scenes.
There's no captions?
I don't think there was no option on the menu for it.
Oh,
I can
that's
say
a bummer.
that. So,
especially because the books are bilingual in Spanish and in English.
So you should have your DVD subtitled in at least Spanish and English.
But that at least explains.
We picked this up and
or how about the cool
15
song where you're singing about how cool Cat is in multiple languages?
Yeah, what was
subtitle that so that we can learn that and sing it along.
Was it just Spanish or was it other languages?
I think it was multiple languages,
okay.
But I don't know.
Okay.
I don't either. I only assume that it was they would do some English parts and then some Spanish parts because the book, a bilingual book in English and Spanish,
which is honestly pretty cool. That is pretty
agreed.
Cool.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I wish that I would speak Spanish a hell of a lot better if I had books when I was a kid that were in both languages on the same page.
Totally. You've got a language lesson on every page. It's a really good thing.
Again, going back to Sesame Street, that's probably the most I ever learned about Spanish. I wish I knew more, especially since I moved here in Arizona.
Yeah.
For sure. But so, good for him. What else do you say about this?
I just say that, it's not a perfect film, but it's definitely the best, mixed human cat relationship movie that is written and directed by a former Playgirl model with, rap songs in it that I've seen this week.
Just this week.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. I can get behind that review.
Yeah. You can put that on the box.
Now it's just the search for the versus the witches.
Yeah, we need to find that. Yeah. Just surprise us with that sometime. If you find it. Yeah.
I don't know that it exists yet. If you didn't see it on the website, I mean, I don't know. If it's not on the website, I don't think it's available yet.
And for any of our listeners who do want to seek this one out, is your only option pretty much just going to the website?
Which is coolcatlovesyou.com.
Yeah.
I mean, no, like I said, I just go straight to the source.
So this isn't on Netflix or Amazon Prime or anything.
I didn't investigate it much more than.
Well, you can investigate it yourself, audience, and just understand.
I like to support the artists. I
mean,
of
course,
if I do more of the stuff that if I'm trying to find something like, let's say it's like, Sunset Grill or something, or Voyage of the Rock Aliens, that's a little bit harder, where the first thing you start doing is looking for the obvious places for something that's completely out of print. But I knew this was already available. I mean,
totally.
This is somebody
easy
who's,
to get and not that expensive.
No.
Definitely. And, and it looks like, did you just order the DVD and it came with these?
It just came with the book and the keychain. I didn't even request it. It just,
and that's pretty cool. And honestly,
stuff.
I think in terms of value, that's a pretty awesome thing. The keychains are only like $2. I'm probably going to get a keychain for myself. They've got prints, signed prints for $10.
24 by 36.
24 by 36.
Wow.
And then there's just so you know, at the time of this recording, there is a deluxe set which comes with a mask, not a full furry mask like that. It's like but it looks like a pretty good quality, like big
like
half
Halloween
mask. Yeah, exactly, like a nicer Ben Cooper-ish mask. And then that's like the deluxe set. It's like $150, but it's limited to 50, and it comes with the mask, the movie, the keychain, a book, the poster, signed, autographed by Cool Cat. And that's a heck of a deal.
Yeah, you can't even put a price on that.
Yeah, you can't. It's
$150.
Yeah.
Well, okay, they put a price on that, but if I couldn't put a price on that.
Oh my gosh!
Exactly.
I know later tonight I'm going to get that Facebook message that says ordered.
Did it?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Cultfollowing.co. More stuff and stuff.
And YouTube.com.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, and people who are listening to the audio version of this, we are videotaping this.
Yeah.
I think we have more audio listeners than we have YouTube viewers in general.
Definitely.
And I don't know if they know or not. It just could be because it's part of their RSS feed on whatever app that they use to listen. But no, hey, this is chiefly a YouTube, visual thing if you want to look at our lovely beards.
I mean, I understand it's convenient to listen to things like while you're driving and stuff, but the videos are awesome because Adam puts a lot of work into actually giving you images that we're talking about. So with a lot of these films, especially, they're a little harder to find sometimes. It's if you have a little bit of time, definitely check us out on YouTube. Look for View and Spew Review and see some of the awesome editing work that Adam is doing. Good stuff.
Bye.
Pretty spectacular.
Yeah, for sure. And just remember, Cool Cat loves you.
And everyone else too. And all the children.
All the children.